Was geht ab, meine Damen und Herren? Herzlich willkommen zu einem neuen Video von mir. Colin here from Deutschified, where I take news and pop culture articles from German media and interpret them into English and add a little commentary of my own because you know I can't resist. I've got some more breaking news here for you today. Well, this isn't exactly breaking news. As you can see, this article was published about 6 days ago on May 4th. However, I have been out of the country on vacation for the past week, so I was not able to record it at the time. So here we are, and let's jump right into it. Chris Rock witzelte. War das Will Smith? Comedian Dave Chappelle bei Netflix-Show attackiert. Angreifer war mit nachgebauter Pistole bewaffnet, die beim Abfeuern eine Messerklinge auswirft. So it says, Chris Rock jokes, was that Will Smith? Comedian Dave Chappelle attacked at Netflix show. Assailant was armed with replica pistol that ejects a knife blade when fired. It goes on. Dave Chappelle, 48, gibt in Los Angeles ein paar Witze zum Besten. Das Publikum lacht. Doch dann geht plötzlich alles ganz schnell. Ein Mann stürmt die Bühne und greift den US-Comedian an. In einem kurzen Clip, der jetzt im Netz die Runde macht, ist zu sehen, wie Chappelle bei der Netflix is a Joke Live-Show von dem Angreifer überrascht wird. Der Mann springt von links auf ihn zu, wirft sich mit seinem ganzen Körpergewicht gegen den 1,83 Meter großen Komiker und Schauspieler. Der kann so schnell gar nicht reagieren, wie das alles passiert. Schnell greifen Sicherheitskräfte ein und Chappelle bekommt sogar Hilfe von einem Kollegen. So it says, Dave Chappelle, 48, is telling a few jokes in Los Angeles. The audience is laughing. Then, suddenly, it all happens so fast. A man storms the stage and attacks the comedian. A brief clip, which is now making the rounds online, shows how the assailant took Chappelle by surprise at the Netflix is a Joke live show. So I think this was one of his Netflix stand-up specials that he was taping. The man charges at him from the left side of the stage, throws himself with all of his body weight into the 1.83 meter tall, that's about 6 feet, comedian and actor. He doesn't react right away. Literally, he's not able to react right away as everything's happening. Security guards quickly intervene, and Chappelle even gets help from a colleague. In my opinion, this individual knew full well that this was a live taping, and they sort of leveraged that to their benefit, or what they thought was their benefit anyway. You know, just looking at the public response to all this, it's overwhelmingly clear that public sentiment is definitely in Dave's favor here. This incident, of course, comes on the heels of the Will Smith, Chris Rock debacle at the Oscar ceremony. I can't say with 100% certainty whether this particular individual was directly inspired by Will Smith to do what he did, but I don't think it would be a stretch to assume that Will Smith, at the very least, has set a dangerous precedent as far as resorting to physical violence when a joke is made at your expense or the expense of a loved one. So, es geht weiter. US-Komiker Dave Chappelle wurde am Dienstag während einer Netflix-Comedy-Show in Los Angeles von einem Mann angegriffen. Schauspieler, Comedian und Sänger Jamie Foxx, 54, der sich die Show von der Tribüne des Hollywood Bowl aus anschaute und dabei einen Cowboy-Hut trug, eilt laut Daily Mail auch herbei, hilft der Security, den Mann von der Bühne zu ziehen. Kaum bekommt Chappelle nach dem Schrecken wieder Luft, versucht er der Situation die Spannung zu nehmen, scherzt, es war ein Trans-Mann. Doch ob das jemand lustig fand? Denn er spielte damit auf die Proteste an, für die er im vergangenen Jahr mit seinem Comedy-Special The Closer sorgte. Darin hatte er sich über Transgender lustig gemacht und schockierte unter anderem mit dem Vergleich von Transfrauen mit der rassistischen Darstellungsmethode des Blackfacing. So it says, U.S. comedian Dave Chappelle was attacked by a man during a Netflix comedy show Tuesday in Los Angeles. Actor, comedian, and singer Jamie Foxx, 54, who was in the stands of the Hollywood Bowl watching the show wearing a cowboy hat, it's an interesting detail to add, came running to help security pull the man off the stage. Chappelle can barely catch his breath following the scare. Then he tries to defuse the situation by joking that, quote, it was a trans man. But did anyone find that funny? After all, he's alluding to the protest which came about as a result of his comedy special, The Closer. In the special, he pokes fun at transgender people and causes shock, among other things, by comparing trans women to the racist act of blackface. It goes on. Ein Mann stürmte die Bühne, warf sich auf Dave Chappelle. Einer, der den Angriff auch sah und dann auf die Bühne kam, war Comedian Chris Rock, 57. Er konnte es sich nicht verkneifen, zu witzen. War das Will Smith? Denn er hatte bei der Oscar-Verleihung Ähnliches erlebt. Da stürmte Hollywood-Star Will Smith 53 die Bühne und gab ihm eine schallende Ohrfeige, weil er sich über den kreisrunden Haarausfall seiner Frau Jada Pinkett Smith, 50, lustig gemacht hatte. Bei dem Angriff auf Dave Chappelle wurden bei Chris Rock Erinnerungen wach. Er selbst bekam im März bei der Verleihung der Oscars von Will Smith eine Ohrfeige. Damit hatte auch keiner gerechnet. Für Jamie Foxx gab es von Dave Chappelle übrigens später noch ein großes Lob. And then there's a quote. Wann immer ihr in Schwierigkeiten seid, wird Jamie Foxx mit einem Sheriff-Hut auftauchen, rief Chappelle seinen Fans von der Bühne aus zu. Und Foxx antwortete, ich dachte, das wäre Teil der Show. Ich wusste nicht. Was zum Teufel? Wir werden nicht zulassen, dass dir etwas passiert. So it says, a man storms the stage, throws himself at Dave Chappelle. Another who saw the attack and came onto the stage was comedian Chris Rock, 57. He couldn't help himself from joking, was that Will Smith? That is kind of funny, to be honest. It's a good line. After all, he experienced something similar at the Oscars. There, Hollywood star Will Smith, 53, stormed the stage and gave him a resounding smack in the face for poking fun at his wife Jada Pinkett Smith's alopecia. The article actually refers to it as kreisrunder Haarausfall, so circular hair loss or circular pattern hair loss. The attack on Dave Chappelle brought back memories for Chris Rock. He himself was slapped by Will Smith at the Oscar ceremony in March. Nobody was expecting that either. Later on, Dave Chappelle gave high praise to Jamie Foxx, saying, quote, whenever you're in trouble, Jamie Foxx will show up in a sheriff's hat. Chappelle called out to his fans from the stage. And Foxx responded, I thought that was part of the show. I didn't know. What the hell? We won't let anything happen to you. Laut CNBC bestätigte die Polizei von Los Angeles den Vorfall. Quote, ein männlicher Verdächtiger sprang am Dienstagabend auf die Bühne und auf Chappelle, als dieser gerade die Bühne verlassen wollte, so ein Polizeisprecher. Der Mann, dessen Identität derzeit noch nicht bekannt gegeben wird, erlitt bei der Festnahme oberflächliche Verletzungen, heißt es. Er wurde erstmal in ein Krankenhaus gebracht. Nach Angaben des LAPD war der Mann mit einer nachgebauten Pistole bewaffnet, die beim Abfeuern eine Messerklinge auswirft. Dave Chappelle soll zum Glück aber nicht verletzt worden sein. Die Ermittlungen laufen. So it says, according to CNBC, the Los Angeles police confirmed the incident. Quote, on Tuesday evening, a male suspect jumped onto the stage just as Chappelle was about to leave, says a police spokesperson. The man, whose identity has not been revealed for now, suffered, quote, superficial injuries as he was apprehended. He was initially taken to the hospital. Oberflächliche Verletzungen, so probably just some minor cuts and bruises, I'm assuming. Although I did see a short video, I think on Twitter, where it appeared as though this person's arm was kind of like dislocated or bent pretty badly. So I don't know I'm not sure what the true extent of his injuries were, but anyway. According to statements from the LAPD, the man was armed with a replica pistol which ejects a knife blade when fired. Echt krass. Just crazy stuff. Luckily, Dave Chappelle is said to have been uninjured. The investigation is ongoing. Yeah, it's a miracle that nobody was injured or even killed in this situation. You know, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, and it's very difficult for me to have any sympathy for this individual. I'm sure deep down in their mind they believed that, this was some virtuous act of justice. And even after the fact, I'm sure they still see themselves as like some sort of martyr in all this. But I mean, they ended up coming off as this unhinged vigilante, basically. And I'm so glad, because look, it's a comedy show, for crying out loud. If you can't contain your emotions when it comes to jokes, then just don't go. Stay home. Leave him, leave a nasty comment on social media. You have every right to voice your opinion about the things that Dave Chappelle says and the content that he puts out into the world. Send him a nasty letter. He probably won't read it, but, you at least have the right to do that. This is America. But what you don't have the right to do is tackle someone, or try to tackle someone, rather. Judging by the clip, it doesn't appear as though he was too successful, but, you don't have the right to tackle someone while they're doing their job, while carrying a gun that shoots out a knife blade. That you are not entitled to. And quite frankly, this person deserves everything that's coming their way. Vielen Dank alle für das Zuschauen. Please subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will catch you in dem nächsten Video. Tschüss.